Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back in to Mining Stock Daily. It's Thursday's first corporate update and market commentary, kind of a combination of both today, as I am happy to be joined by the CEO of Roscan Gold Corp. Roscan trades on the TSX Venture with the symbol ROS and also on the OTC with RCGCF. Not only is Roscan a sponsor of Mining Stock Daily, but I am also a shareholder and happy to be welcomed in by CEO Nana Sangmuah. Nana, we've got a few things to cover. We're going to get a little general look from your seat at the gold equities market here in just a minute. But let's step back. From management's perspective and for shareholders' perspective at that, Nana, it has been a very exciting week for Roscan. Just based on the volume of shares being bought up this week.
Yeah, it's been quite exciting, and I think it's basically driven off some of the perspectives that our lead director shared to a broader audience as to explaining his investment rationale in picking junior mining stocks. And I probably reiterate some of the things that he had highlighted. The fact that a lot of these junior miners would never ever make their way into becoming mines. And that's a box that we clearly tick, with a lot of tier one projects that have been found within the vicinity where we operate. And we are now on track to be one of the the largest landholders in that vicinity. It clearly increases the chance of us also picking up some tier one asset discoveries as we embark on this aggressive exploration campaign. And you layer on to the fact that discoveries itself are very exciting and drive the best returns in the mining equity cycle. We can add to that leverage the fact that we also have a team that can take these discoveries to the full 9 yards into production re-rating if need be, where you also see a significant kick in the mining equity ratings. So you can have a double whammy here. And probably you could also have a third whammy where basically once these projects continue to perform as we expect them to, you have the M&A takeover potential that adds to it as a sizzle. So you've got like three ways to win here. And he clearly laid out the case for Roscan as a viable investment in this climate. And given the fact that we've already had shown a lot of progress on several different discoveries, not fully reflected in the stocks, I think a lot of investors saw the to get some cheap seats at.
So director Michael Gentile goes on to Kitco, I believe it was Friday. Monday morning, the shares of Roscan are literally flying off the shelves. It closed, let's see, Friday, Roscan closed about 35 cents. By Monday Monday morning, it actually reached up to a high of 50 cents before kind of coming down. Currently trading at 46 cents. So I'm just kind of curious, were you taking a lot of phone calls and emails throughout the weekend after that interview? And what were some of those questions people were asking you?
Well, I mean, obviously, the request to be on the mailing list just spiked out to the roof right through the weekend. And that was investors all across the global spectrum. And requests for subsequent updates and some of the conferences that were coming up also spiked. So it had a very dramatic increase in the audience level and the amount of people that wanted more information. And some of these were people that we hadn't spoken to at all. I mean, a lot of high net worth, some institutions also paying closer attention to the story. And I think it got us working really hard during the weekend, and we're still working hard trying to answer some of these requests that continue to come through.
Yeah, a couple of weeks of meetings scheduled for you, I'm sure, as we do approach the week of PDAC and a couple other conferences taking place in the month of March as well. So you got your hands full.
Precise. but exciting times. We always welcome the opportunity to tell a good story to new audiences, and I think that's generally uh, bringing a new wave of excitement in this.
So obviously lots of volume into the stock in the last couple days, but really let's continue to progress. Like, what is Roscan currently doing, or like what is something that shareholders should be paying attention to or looking forward to as the next week or two progresses?
So basically, we still advance and work on our targets. We got to advance projects, Southern Mankuki and Kabaya, and the rigs have been turning. And essentially, we got news flow that should be put into the market in the coming weeks. But it's what we're trying to show to the street is the fact that these advanced targets are well on their way into generating a decent resource, which we targeting towards the last quarter of this year. And the newer targets are also being advanced, and they're looking exciting as the depth of mineralization continues to grow with some of these newer targets. And it's like having a mouthful. We just finalizing the geophysics target generation phase, and there are a lot of exciting new targets that are also being picked up. So we just hoping that we'll have the energy to go through all that's coming onto our plate. The most important thing is to be focused and put our resources in the top few targets that will give us the best bang for our money so that we can show a respectable number in the last quarter of this year where we intend to be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that number when it does finally come up. Just gonna have to practice some patience for the next 9 months here.
Yeah, but I mean, the fun though is before we get to that number, we'll definitely be sharing the build up to the number. So smart people like you can be doing their own mathematics and figure out where we're going with this project.
Okay, so I was hoping you might be able to kind of step away from your executive seat from Roscan and actually maybe go back and put on your investment banking hat that you used to wear, and really kind of give us a general look at the gold equities. We are recording this Thursday morning. The producers are actually having a really nice day. Let's see. Barrick was up almost 3%. Newmont was up almost 2%. Your neighbors, B2 Gold, um, they are up 3.5%. So it sounds like, again, this is just one day in a bigger scope of things, but this is the buying you want to see as the equities are maybe leading the metal. From where you see and from where you're sitting and given your extensive background in banking, are we starting to see kind of a turn of the tide here?
Yeah, I think it appears to be that case. I mean, we've brought through a few support levels, but you recognize that we've always bounced back off those levels, and in every market run, you don't get things going in a straight line. So you have these indentations, and once you basically bounce that off, you eventually set the base for a much more significant momentum rise from these levels. And the observations are very bang on. The majors are the first ones to catch the bit because all the big funds start coming in for liquidity reasons, and they will drive the sector higher. And after some point, they always want to look at what is left and what is not really run that much, and then it percolates down the curve to juniors like us. But I think this time is going to be very different because we are in a period where the seniors have actually been so disciplined and they've had a lot of money being generated from their assets as we speak. At these levels, they are really cash machines printing a lot of money. And the question is what they do with their money. And the reality is they are running out of reserves, and there's not been a lot of discoveries in the space. So I think that's where it sheds a lot of light to players like ourselves, where we are actually actively making the discoveries, which are a rare commodity in the industry right now. And any signals that you're on to something close to a tier one discovery, definitely going to have these people knocking at your door. And oftentimes they prey on juniors that don't have the ability to go the full 9 yards, which is not us, where we have senior executives that have supervised development of assets of the stage in their past very successfully. So we can really power ourselves to be a force to reckon with. So I think it's been a painful start to the year so far, whilst we watch gold trickle down on the back of slightly strengthening of the dollar and yields going up. But like we heard from the Fed chair, that interest rates are going to be staying low for the foreseeable future. We should see negative real interest rates coming through, and that's a perfect environment for gold to thrive. And I think we are about headed in that direction.
Nana, it is an exciting time, but best of luck to you and your colleagues at Roscan trying to get through the next couple weeks with all these meetings. And you come out at the end stronger than ever, my friend. I look forward to catching up with you later this month.
Always a pleasure to join you on your show, and all the best.
That's CEO from Roscan Gold, Mr. Nana Sangmuah. Again, Roscan trades on the TSX Venture with ROS and on the OTC with RCGCF. The information presented should not be considered investment advice. Mining Stock Daily and its affiliates are not responsible for any loss arising from any investment decision in connection with the material presented herein. Please do your own research or speak with a licensed financial representative before making any investment decision.